Welcome to another Tap In on Tuesdays where we use EFT tapping to help strengthen your authentic creative connection. I wanted to do some tapping on the things we don't know. Sometimes we're doing things that put ourselves out there and we're co-creating with other people, and it's good to be open to a no. And sometimes it's a no, like for example, I'm working on a project right now, I'm reaching out to people, I'm getting different responses, and I know when I reach out to them that they might say no, thank you. Thankfully, they've all been nice enough when they've done so, and they've given me some reasons, and they've given me a not this time, but next time. And so I'm getting a different range, but I know that I am putting myself out there. I'm saying, would you like to participate or collaborate? And I might not get a yes. And I was thinking back how I used to work in film and television, and there was a particular producer director who I really loved the work of. I loved the movies that I had seen. I was like, these are all good. They're so creative. They're so clever. They're so fun. And I was working on a different film, talking with somebody else, and I said, I'd love to work with this person. And they said, do you know what it's like to work with that person? And I said, no, I don't. And I was told about an entire crew quitting because of how horrible they were. And I was told that I could look online and see behind the scenes footage, and I found it. I found very abusive, like, how is this not person not in jail for this behavior that was filmed and documented and put by crew members, by people working on the shoots, behind the scenes, well-known actors, uh, well-known films. And I was like, why do people keep giving him money to make these things? Why is he not in jail? Why is this allowed and not stopped? And so it was an example of, it's not that I had the opportunity to work with this person, but it changed. Unfortunately, it changed it. I don't even want to watch the films anymore. But I also was like, wow, I'm so glad that I wasn't working on that. And I wouldn't want to work with this person anymore. And I wouldn't want to have been there and found out from being on that set because I've been on sets that are unpleasant and I've seen behavior that I dislike. However, not to that extent, not like that, you know. So, it would have been a very good thing for me to get a no. I might have had all these dreams of something. You might have something that you think, oh, I'd really love this. And you can get very specific about the location, the people, the situation overall. And there's something about it that you don't know that's truly not a match to who you are. And so it's a good thing if it doesn't happen. I thought that would be a great thing to do a little bit of tapping on what we don't know. So, taking full responsibility for your well-being and all the benefits you gain from this. I was going to say something else. What I don't know. There are things that I don't know. And I might think that I really want this situation, this job, this relationship. And I think that I know the details of what I want. And I do, from my perspective. Yet there are things about it that truly aren't a match to who I am or what I want to experience. There are things I don't know. Sometimes I'm glad I don't know them because I can't unknow them. And sometimes it's hard to say that I got a no even though I thought I wanted a yes. And I don't know why I got the no. I'm going to trust that if I'm really synced up to my desires and I still get a no, it's because there's a better match to my yeses. And I'm not about to be given something less than that. Eyebrow point. There are things that I don't know. Side of the eye. Maybe that person who I think is honest is a liar. Under the eye. Maybe that place I think I want to be is not really for me. Under the nose. Maybe there's a person who's a much better match and just around the corner from here. Under the mouth. Maybe there's a scheduling conflict because something better is about to be presented to me. Collarbone. There are a lot of things that I don't know. Under the arm. And if it needs to be brought to my attention, why it's a no, top of the head, then I really appreciate that beforehand. It'd be easy for me to get upset about not getting what I want sometimes. If I'm going with clarity about what I want, and I can imagine and experience it the way I truly desire, why would I want anything less? What if this person, place, or situation is actually way better if this thing I thought I wanted was not a part of it? What if what I want could actually be way better than what I've imagined as the absolute best? What if the things that I don't know don't have to be known by me? What if that impulse to take a right when I'm driving, even though it makes the route a little longer, is what stops me from being in some kind of car accident? Or stops me from some kind of detour I didn't know was up ahead? What if the no's that I receive and the lack of opportunity is because my clarity is actually guiding me to a much better match? Sometimes I have that happen and I follow the guidance. I make that extra stop or I go a different way. And I'm totally unaware of what perfect timing that was to avoid this and experience this instead. And sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I have no idea about what benefit I just received. I can't give the specifics of what that just brought me to and avoided, but I can say that I felt better or I felt okay because I didn't necessarily even know that there was going to be a potential other option. So I'm going to appreciate when I get a no I'm going to appreciate the people who say, no, not a match. Because I want the real matches. I want to be like a tuning fork that sounds all the others who match with me. I want to be like the magnet that draws the magnets in. I do not want to settle for less than that. I'm going to trust that my clarity and my vision is powerful, and that the things that are not syncing up are not for good reason. And if that's temporary, okay. And if it's not, also okay. There are some things I don't know, and I appreciate that I don't know them. And there are things I know that I appreciate that I do. We're going to stop with that. If there's something that you feel like you know that you want and you can get really clear and really specific, I really truly encourage you to be open to something way better than what you're imagining, because that no or that non-match or the we're not a match right now means that when you are a match, the right one will feel that much better, will make that much more sense. And to let go of the need to be able to explain why you follow an impulse or inspiration. You don't have to know what you've missed out on when you're experiencing something awesome because of what you said yes to. And the people and the places and the things that don't fit what you really want, not being there is how it's supposed to work. It's to your benefit. And if you shift your focus on that a little bit, even the no's, when you put yourself out there, if you feel like, oh, I could be rejected, so I'm afraid to put myself out there, you might not be rejected. You might be way better received than you think. And if you are rejected, good. You don't want to work with people or co-create with people who are not a match. When you have clarity of what you want, you don't, please don't settle for less. There's a lot of settling happening. You don't have to do that. Settle for the best you can get and let it come to you and let it be easy and let those no's and let the rejection and let the, oh my goodness, I'm so glad. Thank you for that insight so that I didn't get myself into a situation that I would have really disliked. You can appreciate that and you can see, wow, everything's working to my favor, in my benefit, as much as I allow myself to receive it that way. It's all about your perspective, and you have control over your perspective. You get to decide how you feel about something, how you respond to something, and what you let bother you and what you don't. So I will see you again next Tuesday for another tap in on Tuesdays.